You're watching the Skateboarding Bros Show. Stories from the pioneers of skateboarding about the history and the fun of the sport we love.
So what are we looking at here?
I don't know.
That is Monty Nolder at Williston Ramp.
Yeah, Williston Road Ramp. It was Randy Miller's house.
So let's have a look. Jeez.
Gotta go full screen.
Sorry about that.
So they allow dogs at that ramp? I hear.
Apparently. Let's see what the heck is.
Not my
The
dog.
dog is no longer living.
That's cool, George.
There's feeding going on.
Was that Steve Hilton there?
No, that's Mike Etrick.
Oh, okay.
Oh boy.
There's Roller Dave.
Do you guys remember this guy?
I know Roller Dave from Colorado more than I know him from Florida.
Yeah. Dude, we
had a
cut
guy,
those
Duke Rennie came in. Duke Rennick, something like that. A roller guy.
Yeah.
He was
Yeah.
all over the basin.
Duke, yeah.
This Donnie?
No, that's Bill
There
Hubbard.
you
Bill
go.
Hubbard. I'm regular footed, but back to Roller Dave, man. Roller Dave, he got financial aid at University of Florida, took all his financial aid money, bought a bunch of wood, and we cut all these transitions in his kitchen.
Awesome. When we were building the pool down in Colorado Springs, the big combi pool down there,
Yeah.
he actually came out and nailed together a bunch of 2x4s to cut across the top, and then brought out a plumb bob so he could figure out exactly how deep it was.
Oh, seriously. Plumb bob.
What year is this? That's a great ramp. They got a nice flat bottom and everything, and rolling. So what year is this?
Yeah,
Meanwhile, he couldn't see anything.
we built this in about 87. It's 10-foot
okay,
transitions with a foot and a half of vert. So it's 11 feet tall.
Wow.
11
nice.
and a half, I mean, my bad. But yeah, 10-foot trannies, foot and a half tall. We actually ended up, we had Bill Hubbard ran into somebody and broke the guy's leg, his femur. And so when we tore it down, we had the ramp and the trannies and everything. So we actually brought it to a house, Chuck from Hell, downtown Gainesville. And we built an 8-foot tall mini ramp with 10-foot transitions. It was nutty. So it was a giant mini ramp.
All right.
That's Jordy Kelly, if you remember that guy. I think it is.
Yeah.
So what's the construction here? This is 2 layers of plywood, or is this a single layer of or it looks like there's multiple layers there.
Probably 3 layers.
Probably. Nice. So what are people riding here with the tech? What's the technology? So this is 87. We still got square tail, pointy nose.
What was that?
Yeah.
That was
That was the VCR. That was the VCR recorder.
Yeah.
That connected
Wait a
to the
minute.
jack.
Oh, we got to get that.
It might have even been a beta cam for. No, that was a VCR because a beta cam had smaller
Yeah.
format.
Yeah.
That was the light
That's
5-pound
VHS.
pack.
Yeah. I don't know what that's doing
two-person
there.
operation.
That's wicked. So this is a basic education grant ramp.
Hey, that guy was riding a Walker Nightmare.
That was
Yeah.
Bill Hubbard.
And this is the guy who spent his grant money on the ramp.
No, that was the roller skater.
Oh,
Roller Dave. He rips
Roller
though, on a
Dave.
skateboard now.
Yes, he does.
And he's like 57, 58, something like that.
Fuck, that's old. Jeez.
That's old.
Well,
And he's blind as a bat to boot.
yeah, he is.
And so he skates with no glasses on. But otherwise, like, I mean, in general life, if you walk up to him without his glasses on, he won't know who you are. So it's literally like skating with Braille, you know.
He's
So
great
look at
though.
the tech. Look at the deck here as they come up. There's still shit on the deck. There's still screws.
Okay, this is interesting.
Screws
story.
and nails.
You see that coping that two
Yeah.
by, it's a 2x4 and a 2x6, I think, together.
Nice.
And so we could rock fakie it right there, right on that spot to the left of the channel. And so Monty one day, like we could rock fakie it and deck the wheels. And so Monty decks his rock fakies completely.
Jesus.
Well, he's got a longer wheelbase than all of us. So he slams his board down into a rock fakie. His kingpin catches just on the other side of that lip right there. And he just jumped to the flat bottom to his back.
Backwards.
And he landed on the flat, and then he just went in his car and left. Didn't say a word.
That's me there.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that's classic.
I got a shiny helmet, I think.
Were you chrome doming it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was all Schmitt stickers.
What?
Oh,
We got an Elgario happening there. Who's that?
That's Bobby Reeves, I think.
Bobby Reeves. Okay, that's right. Yeah, that looks like Bobby.
yeah,
Kona
that was so at the Kona reunion. It was crazy. I hadn't seen Bob. I mean, probably since around this time, and like he hadn't even been to Kona for over 30 years at the reunion, and that was just crazy to see him now.
Where's he
Absolutely
living?
crazy. He's still in Jacksonville.
No way.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he doesn't skate at all?
He was kind of hinting that he might want to do it again.
Settle down.
But I mean, it was really just kind of humorous because everyone that was hanging out in the parking lot, where everyone was everyone, but like there was like over in the corner next to the pro shop, there was half of the Kona locals that are banned for life.
Oh yeah. Oh, you see that ice plant fakies?
I did.
That's a sick one.
So if you had all those boards today,
You'd be a thousandaire.
yeah,
exactly. Yeah, this was a pretty dark time. So you got 87, 88, not a whole lot of really popular boards, that were going on back there. Nightmare probably bring in an OG Nightmare would probably bring in more cash than anything.
I know, huh?
I don't know. Donnie's boards, what's Donnie's boards pulling in these days?
I don't know, maybe $3,000 or so.
Well, that's about the same as a Mark Lake Nightmare, so you can't say much about that.
I mean, I don't really know. I haven't really looked, but yeah, I was riding. I remember on this ramp, I rode a Kevin Staub. Kevin gave me a board one time, a Sims, and then oh shit, that dude was going down.
Oh,
wow.
Serious flapper. Bobby's getting it on over here.
Now, was this when Bobby was riding for Airborne, or was he still on Powell at this point?
This is probably
Powell.
Powell, yeah.
So Sam, let's talk about the tricks you had on this ramp. What were you doing that no one else was doing?
A lot.
Exactly.
I did ice plant the fakies over the channel. I learned them. I remember right before going to Georgia for the Stone Mountain NSA contest.
You were
that
doing
was a 4-foot channel.
Fakey ollie? Is that what you said?
No, ice plant the fakie.
Eggplant the fake.
Really? Oy. Okay. Well then,
ice plants the fakie are not an easy trick.
It's not an easy trick. I was like, yeah, that made the pucker factor go way the fuck up. I was thinking, okay, hey, how about a good buddy hip hop chant? Okay, never mind. Ice plant to fakie over that. That's fucking gnarls, sir.
Dude, he did it. I can name some other tricks he did here. Because I went to Europe. I would go to Europe for the summer and I'd come back and Sam had learned 25 tricks, but I remember he had learned fast plant fakies, but also air fakies blindside over the over the
Ooh.
channel, which was pretty sick, and
That's
regular air
gnarly.
fakies. And I think I don't know if you ever made them, but I saw him do a giant nollie fakie too,
Gnarls.
and a,
No,
and a
I don't
frontside invert. Didn't you learn those there?
I think I did maybe one of those, two of those. Same with Elgarios. I did like maybe one or two
There you
Yeah.
that
go.
were crappy. And that was it.
I used to love fast plants. They were fun. Just
Yeah, me
Yes,
too.
they were.
pop.
So who's filming this?
I don't know. Johnny's not in this, so he was out of town. I think we just took turns.
But who had the camera?
It was Paul, our brother Paul.
Oh, I did not know that, huh? Yeah,
It's
there's
a lot
a
nicer to have VHS stuff because the Super 8, you only had 3 minutes on the roll of film. You had 2 hours with this stuff.
yeah. I think this was he had a Canon was it L7?
I have no idea.
It was the one with the
I don't know.
interchangeable lenses, like back in the day.
Nice.
So what year did we decide this was?
It's
87?
yeah, probably 87, 86, 87 is when we had this ramp. That's Monty.
That guy in the black helmet's got some amplitude.
Dude,
I know
Monty-
who it is. I know who it is.
Monty murdered this ramp. I remember him doing he started doing airwalks here about 5 or 6 feet high, but they were the Christ air ones. I mean, he made them up basically.
You mean Nolders?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, don't even start down that path.
I know, but you know what? He started doing he did like a 5 or 6 foot air, and then a 5 or 6 foot, 7 foot airwalk, and then he started finger flipping them. But it wasn't like Tony Hawk's. It was like he just was hucking it. He wasn't grabbing the nose.
It was basically he hucked the board out into the air and went catch, and
Yeah.
then went "Brr," catch.
I was that's how all his tricks ended.
Dude, I was
The
on the
whole
other
ramp
side.
shake when Monty rode it. I know he
Yes.
was so powerful when he
Yeah.
rode.
Yeah.
So let me just ask. Okay, they must have just put this wood on this ramp. This is Florida,
Yeah.
where it rains every day,
Still yellow. Yeah.
It looks
And-
new.
and it looks fast. But when did they start with masonite or the whole
Yeah.
transition into?
Never could do masonite here.
No.
We did
What was
masonite
the
in
next
Florida.
material?
Our next ramp after this was masonite, but it was lumpy as hell.
I was going to say because we tried with 1/4 inch sanded plywood in the flat bottom and 3/4 or a quarter of a way up the transition, and we coated the crap out of that 1/4 inch plywood with polyurethane to where you could like run a squeegee across it and make it dry. But then we had masonite on the sides with
Yeah.
tarps that you would bring down over the top of all of it,
Yeah.
and it still bubbled like crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, it was like speed bumps all over the flat. And one more thing about this ramp. One time Blaze Bluen and Mike Thorvaldsen came down, and this thing was splinter heaven. And Thorvaldsen did a knee slide, dragged his hand, and he's like, dude, I fucked my hand up. And he had a splinter going in his hand, and it went all the way down his pointer finger, out the end of it, his finger. And he came up and poked me with it. He's like,
Nice.
yeah, I think he had to go get it surgically removed.
Gnarls.
Yeah, that was nuts.
Yeah.
No thanks.
Yeah, no, I don't miss the splinter ramps, that's for sure. I'll take a little slipperiness over.
So this is what wheels? So we're
Nice.
probably talking 63 millimeter wheels, 66s.
Maybe something like that. Schmitt was making those quarter wheels, right, Sam?
The radials?
Yeah. And
And
That's-
those
he
were
was making those at-
61 and 64, if I'm not mistaken.
but those were even 55s.
yes,
Because I remember Sam was riding some small ones.
but then
He had
I think the
radials before.
yeah, the radials he did in I think they were 60s and 64s, and then prior to that, he had done the saw blades in 56, 59, and 66, if I'm not mistaken. But anyway, but then the turbines he ended up doing in a 60, or I'm sorry, in a 55, which were the ones with the holes in the core.
Right.
Okay. Yeah.
So what do you think you were riding, Sam?
I know I rode a twig stick there, board, the small Schmitt board,
No,
because I have pictures of it there. I think I'm riding
Monty.
a mini Monty.
so you were early into the smaller boards for the maneuverability and being able to do the freaking wacky stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, you
I
know
like
what?
the nose on that mini Monty.
Yeah.
It's pretty big.
I was riding a Lucero on this ramp. Klaus Grabke gave me one in Germany because he was riding from Madrid. Pretty sure it was this ramp. That was Andy Elliott a minute ago.
Trying to do a slide, you can't do it on the plywood.
Not too easy. I'm trying to figure out who some of these people are.
I keep thinking this guy's Scott Houston, but it's not.
That's Bobby Reeves.
That's Bobby Reeves, yeah.
Oh
He's
yeah,
got
yeah,
the back arm dragging behind him.
yeah. He's got that
And
style.
his goofy foot. That's Mike Hetrick.
Oh yeah,
He runs
yeah,
a bike shop in Gainesville. Good bike.
yeah.
Freaking little sad plan action there. That was kind of nice.
Yeah. Yeah, Mike was ripping. He was like one of our best friends for a long time.
He was our ride down to Tampa a lot, and to go to Schmidt's house and pack rails and
Yeah.
skate the ramps.
So tell us about that, because Paul would mention that you guys were the packaging department, shipping and logistics.
Yeah, we would work a little for
Eggplant.
sleep on the floor, and you know,
There's
he had
that
a
ice
big
left
box
to
of
fake
rails.
or bean to fake.
Just put 'em in.
Oh,
That was reverse mute error. Go back.
yeah. Switch Indy.
Yeah.
Yeah, when we'd go stay at Paul's, we were the only ones. We were straight edge, me and Sam. So we would stay at his house, at his mom's apartment, and they would all go out and get wasted, and then we'd just package rails and listen to punk rock.
Well, that's kind of sad.
Nice.
Yeah, Paul taking advantage of us.
Hey, that's okay.
It's a two-way street.
I was stoked. I remember I went to finally got to when I was riding for Gullwing. I was out there, one summer in San Diego, and Mike Williams was like, "Fuck yeah, George, come on out to the factory." I got to the factory. He's like, "Okay, we're going to build some trucks." I'm like, "Oh, I'm in California for 3 weeks, and you want me to spend a day building trucks?" What? So, but it was same type of thing. They take advantage of, but it was like, okay, one for the box, one for my Robinac pack, one for the box, one for my pack was a lot heavier after that. But I was like, no, that's this packing department shit. That kind of sucks.
Yeah. Well, we would have fun with it. So I think you needed 8 screws for the rails because there were 4 for each one. So one of them we'd give them 9, and then the other one would give them 7.
Nice.
That's not very nice.
I know.
Some people would write notes on the inside of the flap. I don't have any rails packaged, but I do have this truck guard.
Nice.
Ooh,
Which came after the
it's like a lap.
Kinder grinder.
The kinder, I forgot about that.
people would write like, help save me. Paul is keeping us hostage on the inside of the little flap.
That was Bobby Reeves.
That was some gnarls.
Bobby had a bag, dude. He had a deep bag.
Yeah,
He did.
Yeah.
Dude, I don't know. It's too bad he didn't do it. Who is this?
That's Tetrick.
Oh yeah,
It,
never
it
mind.
seemed like the end of the 80s, there was a lot of ramps being built everywhere, and the parks were just starting to come in from the bigger pictures. Were you able to travel to different ramps around different places?
Yeah, at this time, I mean, I was going to Europe a lot, and then we went to California and skated. There was, and I don't know if we sent you photos, but Grant Britton took some good photos of me and Sam at Fallbrook Ramp, and I mean, he used some for the magazines, but a lot he didn't, and we still have some prints he did for us, but. So Fallbrook was one of the best, I thought. It was probably one of the best ramps ever.
I was in DeLand over the weekend, and there was a fellow working on something on the other side of the room, and he had a Big O hat on. You know, and I go, Big O, California, and the guy just lit up because Big O disappeared a gazillion years ago, and he still had the hat. So that was.
Was it Danforth? Because he lives over in DeLand.
Big O is actually just buried. It's not destroyed. It's buried. The 5/8 pipe is still hanging out of the ground. You can actually see it. It's. I'm trying to remember where if you go to the site, you can actually see the pipes still coming out, but the rest of it is freaking. The capsule is still. It's there. It's just buried.
So you could unbury it like the Sphinx in Egypt and see the whole thing.
Just like Cherry Hill. Cherry Hill is a UPS warehouse right now.
I think they finally demoed that, George, but I know that about a decade ago.
So let's get back to
There you go.
There it is.
Oh yeah.
So here we
early,
was early 80s, probably 82, 83.
Or 81 or 2.
81. Wow.
When did that board come out?
I want to say that was 82 that when that board came out, because Gelfand didn't come out until 81.
Yeah, it was brand new. You see Sam sitting there behind. Sam's on the far right of the photo where my left hand is like about to hit him.
Okay.
And I think
that board weighs 81 pounds.
Yeah.
Particularly with all that plastic.
Yeah.
And those wheels.
So if you look at this, so you've got an amazing. So this is probably one hit. This isn't side to side. You're coming in. Yeah, this is your first hit. You think?
I did a frontside roll in from the snake run up top.
Right. Yeah. So, but if you look at this, so that's beefy. But if you think about what was going on in this time period, you got Tony Hawk on a similar board, maybe even a Stevie Cab doing stuff like this. I saw him doing lip slides at Del Mar on a board very similar to this.
Yeah.
With no nose. We realized that you had to push down the nose, but there was no nose. Fucking crazy.
I know.
That particular area, I'm sorry, Donnie, to interrupt. That bowl was uniquely shaped. So you had to pick your line, and I know he's got to land it maybe not more than a foot under the lip where he's going, or he's down to a tranny that was abrupt at that point. So this is a gutsy area. You bite off this area, you've got to land it.
Yeah.
It's a little scary.
You know what's funny is I have another photo. I don't know if you guys have it, but I was skating a GNS Billy Ruff, and I was probably 2 feet higher than this.
Oh,
and it was like tuck knee. It was one of my favorite photos. I got a picture of Monty doing like a 5-foot frontside air in that corner.
I think the park was closed at that time. It was right.
Yeah, that was in the era where there was the big spray painted "Bockham sucks" on the wall.
Oh, I hadn't heard about that.
Welcome to DD Dog.
Yep, exactly. I have photos of that. I went there. We went and took photos.
So there's no paint. There's no blue paint. So we know.
Look at the background. Who do we got in the background?
Tyler Rose on the far left, then Chris Holman.
Yep.
And then is that Rodney or Sean Petty?
I think that's Rodney sitting down. It may be Petty in the white helmet above him.
Oh yeah, that is Rodney sitting down because he always had those socks.
Those OP socks with the checkerboards on the side.
And
And then-
ankle guards.
And that's Balcom sitting there by Sam, in between Rodney and Sam.
Yeah. Interesting. So
Yeah,
there's that. Let's go. Let's move on over here.
And Sam and I had to share that board, by the way.
So that's
So
why
was
he's
that
sitting there without
pre-Walker
a board.
hookup?
Yeah, that was when we rode for Walker.
Of course it was.
Yeah.
All right, I got Stuttgart.
Yep. That was good times there. So that's kind of southern
fuck?
Germany. What's that?
What the fuck is this? This is
It's an eggplant.
it's an egg, a channel.
Egg channel plan?
Yeah,
And
Yeah,
egg
channel.
channel.
And his hand is nailed to the cross. And what are you riding there?
And that's an ugly ass Zorlak with no
Big head.
nose and
Was that a Barry Abrook?
no.
Oh, it was called the
before-
Fish Head.
Yeah, it's like a.
It was a team board, wasn't it? It was,
It was.
had a signature.
Yeah, it was
Right.
like Sam said, it was some sort of big
I
head.
don't think it was Plus Head. So
Oh, was that one of the ugly fish, like the Hosoi knockoff?
Dude, I don't know, man, but it was a beast. And then that's when Klaus gave me the Madrid because he was riding for Madrid, so he gave me a Lucero board, which I loved. And
What
I did
year
get a
is this?
picture, I think, in a magazine with that Madrid board doing a leaner over that channel.
So you
Um,
fucking tracker gear here
what year?
Nikes.
with I love the Air Jordans. That's sweet.
I
So
bought those.
what was that? 85, Sam?
This
Sorry,
was
Donnie.
This was 1986. Me and I think Klaus and Florian Bohm and a bunch of Germans drove down from up where Klaus lived, and we drove down to this contest. We had no idea what we're getting into. We had just skated Klaus's indoor barn ramp, which was great, but this ramp was probably my favorite ramp of anywhere at the time. It was metal frame and it had marine plywood.
Nice.
So it was like perfect. I learned so many tricks on this ramp.
So tell us about the X on the back of your wrist there. Would you do that for every session?
The X on the wrist, the hand?
Or the X on the back of the hand, do that for every session, or was that just
I don't know. I did it randomly.
Just when he
but
wasn't drinking.
I was pretty hardcore straight edge,
Nailed to the cross.
at the time. And all I did was skate and maybe chase some girls sometimes, but mainly I was just skating, man. And the Nikes we bought in San Francisco, they were in clearance. We skated Embarcadero, and there was some sort of like department store, and that they had these huge bins on the floor selling Air Jordans for $15 on sale. So I know, and they're the OG original ones. What are they? $2,000 now?
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly.
At least, yeah.
and so I bought quite a few pairs, and I sold them in Europe for like $100 a pair, and that's how we paid for our trips. Me and
Yeah.
Sam.
The thing that's funny about the original Air Jordans were like $100 a pair when they first came out in '85, but then they came out with the Air Jordan 2 in '86. And I had gone out to California and went to Venice and ended up randomly stopping at a shopping mall. And there was an entire store that had nothing but Air Jordan 1s in every colorway that you could possibly imagine, very similarly for $15 a pair. And there was like one of those little kiosks, like rolling cart stores that sold nothing but duffel bags. And I went in there and bought every single pair in every colorway of my size that I could buy that would fit in that duffel bag to bring home with me, because that's what every skater wanted to ride. And it's the best skate shoe never made.
Yeah, if I'd had a crystal ball, I would have bought about 150 pairs and put them in my my mom and dad's Not their attic, but in a spare closet.
Yeah, I did that, and I went to Europe and came back, and they threw all my shit away. So
Oh shit!
don't fuck your kids that way. If they ever say, "Hey, Dad, hold on to this," don't fuck my head. It just kills me. But
Yeah, I hear you. I save
My
all kinds of
stepmom
weird
knows.
shit.
My stepmom will find like occasional sticker or something, and she'll send it to me because
that's
knows.
cool. My stepmom was just like, "No, it's trash. Throw it away. Not even give it to Goodwill. Throw it away." I was so fucking pissed. But
Yeah.
But
So-
she does also give me owner's manuals for weed eaters I don't own and stuff like that. So.
okay, there is that. There is that.
From 1996.
So we were at that ramp in Gainesville in '81, and now we're in Stuttgart, right?
Right.
So huge progression in the equipment, even though it's the lean years, right? You're scrambling to find environments. So earlier you sent me a note, and Donnie sent me a note, and it said, "Learning inverts changed my life. Maybe saved my life." Something of that effect. Probably changed your life. So, I mean, when did you learn this? Your first invert? Because probably backside invert.
Man, I wish I'd sent a photo, but I have a photo on my Instagram,
I got your Instagram pulled up here. Hold on 1 second.
and it's my very first invert I ever did.
I'm
so-
digging here. Give me a second.
Or like the first day or week, within the first, I just learned
Wow.
hand-on coping in the corner at Sensation Basin.
Wow. So you guys see
Coping.
this image I just shared?
Yeah,
we got
that's Gainesville, and that is an old friend of ours, Brian McCarley's ramp, off of 16th or 23rd.
That was Mason night.
So this
Yeah,
is Zorlak. This is Zorlak days, right?
Yeah, this is going to be a couple of years after that.
Probably riding a Donnie model.
Looks like it.
Probably, I think that was a prototype before I had one, and then I think I had some Airwalk shoes. They hooked me up for a while, and then
Just what I was going to say. What shoes?
yeah, those are Airwalks there because they I think they paid me a little bit. It wasn't much, and then that flyaway helmets. Those guys helped pay the bills a little bit too. That board looks tiny, but it was probably 10 inches wide and 31 inches.
Is that finger flip lean to tail?
I know it's an Airwalk, I think.
Okay. No. I can't imagine flipping a 10-inch wide board.
All right, Donnie. So here, give me a second. Can I share real quick? Here,
Go ahead, Tim. Go ahead, Tim Ott.
I think that this be your first invert.
Yes.
Wow.
That's one of them.
Wow.
That's a walker board.
Yeah. I mean, my
Just
very
ready.
first, but that's within the first week. Hand on coping there.
That's serious.
Yeah, I was pretty
the
psyched
board.
on that.
You got tracker stickers everywhere. Oh, is that a Clyde slide? No.
It's the
That's a
lapper.
tracker lapper.
Oh yeah.
Tracker coper.
with the
Tracker
with the Condor wrist guards. There's Veriflex wrist guard on the other hand.
Matching knee pad, matching knee and elbows.
Those
I
are
forgot-
brand new knee pads because we didn't have caps back then. So you tore through your knee pads, you had to buy a new pair.
You're watching the Skateboarding Bros Show. Stories from the pioneers of skateboarding about the history and the fun of the sport we love.